From Cichy Stadium in Fargo, North Dakota. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Jed Thomas, alongside my partner, beloved Shanley teacher, Mr. Finch, as we're getting set for some girls softball action here on Shanley TV. It's the Shanley Deacons and the Fargo North Spartans. And folks, I'm happy to be back on the air with you. It's been since February since I've been here on Shanley TV, but I'm glad to be back, and I can't think of a better way to return than with this game. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Finch?
Couldn't agree more, Jed. It's a beautiful day for some softball. Excited to see some EDC teams take some hacks.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better myself. And it's interesting when previewing the matchup between these two squads because Shanley checks in at 5-1 overall. Fargo North with just 3 wins on the season, I believe, right now. However, when these two teams went head-to-head, it was, if my memory serves me correct, an 11-2 victory in favor of the Spartans. That was actually only a 5-inning game as they led by enough at the end of 5 to call that one. So a pretty dominant victory for Fargo North. Then again, it was an early season win. A lot has happened since then. Do you think we're going to see that kind of a lopsided game, or do you think things have evened out a bit?
Well, I think things are going to even out here today, Jed. You know, the weather's warming up. The ball's going to start flying a little bit better than when it was colder. And I'm excited to see what happens today. Absolutely.
First up in the order is Elizabeth Wiest for Fargo North, the sophomore. It's a fairly young lineup here for the Spartans. Our first pitch is away, and it's a bunt attempt from Wiest. Schanzenbach a little wild with that one.
That one was a little high for the bunt attempt. We'll see what we do here on pitch 2.
Yeah, Wiest clearly had that bunt just seared in her brain. She was going for it no matter what, and when that pitch came in high, she did not deviate from the game plan. And there's number 2 for a ball. Looked like it was tracking in the zone and then just dipped a little low. And I actually didn't catch if Wiest caught a bit of that first ball. I think she did. So I do think we're at 1-1 here as we got another one in just a little lower. They actually might say that was just inside. Schanzenbach, the sophomore for Shanley, had a lot of experience last season trying to replace Ingrid Swanson in a few outings. And, you know, it was a bit up and down for her last year, but she's looking to have a more full season this year, probably going to try to pitch almost every game. She is far and away their number 1. There's a few options behind her, but Schanzenbach really has the weight of that pitching staff on her shoulders. She really is the pitching staff.
Here's something you don't see every day, Jed. This hitter for Fargo North actually just changed sides of the plate mid-at-bat.
Yeah, I noticed that, and I'm not going to lie, I actually wasn't sure if I missed her get retired and a new batter came out. They aren't wearing their jerseys, or they're wearing their warm-ups over their jerseys due to the cold wind out there. But, yeah, I was a little confused. Non-conventional move from Wiest, and it doesn't pan out as she is retired by Schanzenbach.
That'd be our first strikeout of the afternoon, a swinging strikeout.
So 1 out here in the first, as that pitch is a little high from Schanzenbach, ball 1. Schanzenbach on the windup.
Good, little high.
Yeah, once again, she's tracking a little high right now. That's where most of her pitches outside have gone. Trying to settle it down and get a bit more control. It is just the first inning after all. And right off the bat, there's a nice little grounder that takes a hop. It's going to be a single and nothing more as that ball's finally tracked down just past second base. But Schanzenbach goes strikeout, then to a single in her first 2 tries here. And it's Ava Kallenbrenner batting now for Fargo North. She's the pitcher for this team, but she can also mash that softball. That one's just a little left and foul.
A little bit ahead of that one. Pulled it down the left field line. Shanley was right on that one, too. They're ready.
Schanzenbach with the second pitch goes low, even up the count. And Fargo North testing Schanzenbach early here, putting her in some uncomfortable situations as Kallenbrenner looks to keep one fair. She lets that one go. Now an attempt to steal and safe at second base. Advancing the runner to second now. And still just one out here for the Spartans. Kalbrenner took a step back there. Now she sets back up. Schanzenbach on the wind-up, and that one's fouled back.
Nice pitch, nice swing.
Just not quite the right timing, as that will be her second strike. And here's one that's going to be fair and just over the glove of the left fielder, Maria Sorensen. Now coming home, North's going to get one, and that'll be a double for Kalbrenner. And how about it, though? The pitcher really putting some power behind that one. And I believe that's actually, the way the wind's blowing, that might have been into the wind. Although, actually, the right field flag here is blowing out, so she might have actually had a little wind assist that time.
I believe that was not even wind aided. That was a laser.
Kalbrenner displaying some serious power there, just a sophomore. And now she's actually going to get a pinch runner here. Well, she bats, she pitches, but evidently they're not going to overtax her. She's not going to run the bases. Batter number 4 out here now for Fargo North. Still just one out. One run already home, and there's a little grounder snagged at third, but they'll call it foul. Schanzenbach on the pitch, just a bit low for a ball. And again, she just looks a little cold to start this game. Makes sense, though, as it is a little cold out there. Quite literally having trouble warming up, as this is a pop fly into midfield and glove down for out number 2. And you know what I'd say, if Shanley can escape with just the one runner making it home here in the first, I'd call that a success. North has shown some serious offensive firepower in the past against Shanley. I think they'd be content to just keep the damage to one run. Pitch from Schanzenbach is true down the middle for a strike. And now we've got a hold up here, as there's a problem with second base, as it appeared to be moving a little bit. Seems they've got that sorted out. Not quite sure what was going on there. But Schanzenbach's next pitch comes in low once again.
Fargo North is showing some pretty impressive plate discipline.
Yeah, I was just about to say, they are very patient. They're not swinging it much. And when you've got the kind of bats they have, it can be tempting to take some swings, and that time they maybe should have, as that's going to be another strike. Schanzenbach started the inning with a strikeout, and she's going to look to end it with one as well. Down the middle, and she gets it. So that's
great pitch.
2 strikeouts in the first. One run did make it home, however. Up and down start of that first inning for Shanley, but overall I don't think they can complain, as now we're going to get our first look at that Shanley offense, and it should be, like I said, Kalbrenner coming out to pitch for Fargo North. And, you know, previewing this Shanley lineup, Mr. Finch, it's really one name in particular that sticks out to me. There's a couple very talented girls here, but Gabby Nelson, batting 5th in the order this afternoon, is definitely one to watch here for Shanley.
She is so talented, and she is such a great person, too. I think that needs to be said as well.
Absolutely. Such a great leader for the team, and, you know, she's just been doing it for so long. Not only that, she's been playing at a high level for so long. You know, she earned the respect of her teammates from a very young age, and that really has an impression when you're a freshman kind of leader on the varsity team, freshman, sophomore. The girls who come up behind you, I think, really respect that, and they understand the kind of player they're playing with. Not to be outdone, though, there are a few other names on this Shanley roster. You look at Elena Linster, that's another senior who it feels like she's been on this team for a very long time. she does a lot of damage. Her big weapon, she and Nelson complement each other well. Nelson's got the power shot, and Linster's got the speed. All she's got to do, she just needs anything to get on base, and then she really starts to do damage.
Speed is a weapon in this game, both defensively at the shortstop position, covering ground, and then also on the bases. It can be a distraction to the pitcher, can be a distraction to the infield and how they line up and set up for a hitter like Nelson when she comes up.
Most definitely. A few other names to point out. Maria Sorensen back after a hiatus. She left the team to run track, another spring sport, so it came into conflict last season, but she is back now, and they're happy to have her. There was a pretty big lack of upperclassmen last year, and that's something that Shanley doesn't have to worry about as much this year, and they're very happy about it, having Sorensen back, having Linster, having Nelson, and a few other gals in there. So Shanley off to a good start this season. Let's see if they can avenge their lone loss, though, this afternoon. Getting their first crack on offense, and here is Linster batting first in the order. And she lets that one go. However, it's going to be called a strike.
I think that was a good take. That I think she's looking for something a little bit lower that she can drive. Not quite that low.
She'll take that one, though. I mean, if you walk Elena Linster, it's about the last thing you want to do. Just any way she can get on base. She can do some damage with her hitting, but like I said, it's the base running. Linster steps back into the box. Kalbrenner going to wind up. Puts that one high for another ball. Zero outs here in the bottom of the first, and Elena Linster will be walked. So like I said, not what you want to do with a player like her. Bit of a tough start there for Kalbrenner, although she does have a chance to redeem herself here. Maria Sorensen coming up to the plate. Sorensen, though, has been a pretty prolific batter at times throughout her career. Like I said, though, walked away for a little bit. We'll see how much rust is still on. She's had a chance to play a fair number of games, so hopefully shaking most of that off as she takes a big swing here.
Yeah, Maria's just a solid all-around athlete. I think she's going to look for a pitch low in the zone here and see if she can line it right back up the middle.
It's a very good way of putting it. Just a lot of natural athleticism. Just very good at all areas of the game. Excels at hockey and cross-country. Cross-country in the fall, hockey in the winter. Three-sport athlete here at Shanley. As Kalbrenner loads up for another pitch and another big swing from Sorensen. She likes what she's seeing. She's just a hair off in the timing. One-two count. Sorensen steps back in. She lets it go. And a smart call that time.
Good eye on that pitch. That was a pitcher's pitch.
Shanley displaying some patience of their own after a very disciplined display by the North batters in the top of the first. Now Sorensen takes another crack at it, though, and cannot connect. So there's a strikeout for Kalbrenner.
Now batting for the Deacons. Play first base, Gabby Nelson.
And here is the aforementioned Gabby Nelson, the lefty, facing one out here in the bottom of the first. She's got Linster on base. The wind-up, and Nelson will pop this one up high and left, but comes out of the gate swinging. That is really her mentality. 0-1 count. Nelson makes solid contact, puts it down into center field. Linster's going to try for third. There's that speed on display, and she makes it safe at third. Nelson gets the double, and that's what we were talking about. The power of Nelson, the speed of Linster, they complement each other so well.
Now batting for the Deacons. Number 7, the catcher, Betty Ricky.
Remke now up to bat for Shanley. Another returning starter for this Deacon team. Like I said, they lost very few seniors off of last year's team. A lot of experience back this season as they're in a real good position with runners on second and third here in the bottom of the first. Kalbrenner high with that one. Just the one out so far. Another ball here as Remke displays good vision at the plate. Kalbrenner is going to have to be careful here. She might just load the bases for herself. Although that one is true. Three-one count, trying to dig herself out of a hole.
Eye.
And like you said, Mr. Finch, very good eye from Remke. Bases loaded now with Schanzenbach stepping up to the plate.
Batting for the Deacons. Number 10, Shanley, Shanley.
And Remke is actually going to get a pinch runner here. If I can catch that number. There's a ponytail covering it at the moment. And it looks like Lucian will be in to pinch run. Lucian, another name with a lot of experience returning for the Shanley team. It's going to be honestly pretty rare to call a name this afternoon that hasn't had at least some experience, whether they were a starter last season or not. You know, it was not an ideal season at all for the Deacon squad last year, but they're better because of it. Those are the types of years you have to have. A lot of young girls played, but now they've got experience, and that's how you build a true contender. You have to go through some down years of girls gaining experience. First pitch is a ball. Those Deacon base runners are just jumping at any opportunity here.
I think the Deacons are doing a very good job of being patient right now and allowing North to bring the ball into the zone.
Absolutely.
There we go.
Another ball, and yeah, I mean, they're really, it looks like, gonna force Kalbrenner to get the strikes in here. They're kind of daring her to walk a runner home. Although there is a big swing from Schanzenbach. I think it was a smart swing. But that is going to even up the count now, 2-2. And that one's true down the middle. How about that for a recovery from Kalbrenner?
That was a fantastic pitch. Good eye, too. Caught the corner. Caught the corner.
Batting for the Deacons.
So it's Krista Schanzenbach up to bat now after her sister Callie was retired by Kalbrenner. 2 outs, bases loaded here in the bottom of the first, and that first pitch is low. Schanzenbach patient that time. Second pitch away and low as well. Great start here for Krista Schanzenbach. Schanzenbach takes the swing that time. My guess is she'll be pretty patient with this next one. Probably not going to swing unless it's pretty darn good. Well, can't blame her for trying at that one, although it is going to pop up and away for strike number 2. 2-2 the count now. Kalbrenner with an opportunity to get out of a very tough situation here. The wind-up, the pitch, and Schanzenbach reams this one down the center, but it got a lot of air and not a lot of distance. Almost an error out there in right field, but that pop fly is caught, and that's an out. Nice glove there from Hammery.
Nice play by the Spartans. Good swing, tough fly ball. Got up in what little wind there is today, but they made the play.
And an excellent recovery as well from Ava Kalbrenner. Right now, we got a little break in between the first and second innings, so we are going to step away for a brief commercial break, but stick around, folks. We'll be back in just a minute.
This broadcast is presented by American Family Insurance, Ken Craft Agency, Bell Bank, Beyond Boundaries Therapy Services, Butler Machinery, Ed's Marine, the Fargo Jet Center, First International Bank and Trust, Forum Communications, Haley's Hope, Hurley's Religious Goods, Luther Family Buick GMC, Master Construction, Moore Engineering, Network Center, Northern Improvement, Off the Wall Advertising, Robert Gibb and Sons, Sanford, Shields, Taxman, TCI Insurance, and Wolf Steel Construction.
And we're back from Cichy Stadium just in time for the beginning of the second inning. It's a 1-0 lead for the visiting Spartans as Callie Schanzenbach wastes no time in getting this first pitch of the second inning off, and that will be a ball. She's been dueling with Ava Kalbrenner, the two sophomore pitchers for their respective teams. Been going back and forth. Both have had their struggles and their highlights as this one is raked into center field, just out of reach of Kuhneman. Takes an unfriendly bounce for the Deacons, and here we go. Could it be an in-the-park homer? No, she'll settle for the triple, but hey, who wouldn't? An excellent start to this second inning.
Stand-up triple there for the Spartans. Good effort in the outfield. That ball was hit hard.
And you know, you got to wonder how much of a factor the wind was. It's a fairly strong wind, especially the more it goes right. The more it goes to right field, the stronger that wind seems to get. And, you know, it looked like Kuhneman underestimated the distance a little bit. Perhaps that ball was pushed a bit further than she was expecting once it got up in the air.
I think that ball got into sort of that traditional gap between right and center where that communication really comes into play. And that takes time. That'll get better throughout the year.
Absolutely. As there's a big swing and a strike. Schanzenbach looking to recover from that triple given up to start this inning. 0-2 count now. Schanzenbach lets it go, gets the big swing, and gets strikeout number 3.
You know, Jed, it looked like she took a little off that pitch. That might have been a changeup there. I like that pitch. That looked good. That's pitching right there. That was impressive.
Hopefully finding her groove a little bit more here. Always takes an inning or two to get settled in. As we've got a bunt try here that takes a bounce off the ground and into the batter. At the plate right now, it is Gabrielle Olick, the junior. The count after that bunt attempt, and now here's a big swing, and maybe not the best to be swinging at. She kind of had to put her bat into the dirt that time, although she did generate some good contact. Schanzenbach lets it go and puts it high this time. Taking her time in between pitches here. She lets this one go and gets another big swing for a strikeout. And Schanzenbach retiring 2 in a row. Very nice recovery that time. Well, so far after giving up the triple, although just as I'm saying that, this one deep into right and off the wall. That's going to send one runner home, taking a really bad roll for the Deacons. They're waving her home, going for the in-the-park home run. It's going to be close at home, and the throw does not make it in time. That is an in-the-park homer, and how about it? Very unfortunate the way that went down for Shanley, as it took a bad bounce off the wall there, and they really had to chase that one rolling.
Looks perhaps if the umpires maybe are discussing whether that ball was still in play as it came off the wall. Said that ball came off the right field wall and caromed into the first base line.
And it looks like
they're going to move a runner back.
Yeah. By rule, that will be a double, and that's an unfortunate break for the Spartans. They still bring one runner home, but that could have been a very big turning point type of play.
Tough play there in right. You're running away from your center fielder. There's not a lot of communication as to where you are and where the wall is. Without a traditional warning track out here, you can lose track of where you are. And good effort, though, in right.
Yeah, absolutely. That's twice now there's been a hit to a tough spot in that right field area. But Shanley got to be breathing a sigh of relief after at least keeping one run off the board for now. Got to apologize as well for the broadcaster's jinx that time, just as I was complimenting the recovery of Schanzenbach. Just about had that in the park homer. But she is going to look to recover now, try to walk away, just giving up one run here. Pitch from Schanzenbach was true, and then a threat for a steal there from second. Not much going on that one, though. Hammery was being aggressive there, trying to get to third, but the Deacons caught her in time and forced her back. One-two count now with 2 outs. Hammery on second, being very aggressive. And that's going to be fouled off along the right side.
Very impressed with Schanzenbach on the mound here today. You can tell how much she's thinking through her pitches and placement. That last pitch on the attempted steal was outside, which gave her catcher a great opportunity to throw that runner out had she gone. So, again, she's really thinking through the game, which is impressive.
Yeah, even when her arm isn't doing necessarily what she wants it to do, the mental aspect of the game is there, and that can make up for a lot of deficiencies, physically with how you're playing. And that's been a big reason why she's been able to get herself out of some tough situations, as that's going to be called a ball to even up the count.
She should be swinging on this pitch, so the Shanley defender should be ready. Oh, she took it.
And a smart decision that ends up being is it'll make a full count now with 2 outs.
Runner from second should be taken off with this pitch.
Well, you don't have to tell that to Hammery twice, as she's been pretty aggressive already. There's the big swing, and there's another strikeout. Excellent recovery from Schanzenbach. That is strikeout number 5 already in these first 2 innings. And, she's been pitching well, but I don't know if it feels like a 5 strikeout sort of afternoon for her at the moment.
A couple of those fly balls, those are balls that could be caught. I think Shanley would admit to that. And if we could start, pulling a couple of those in, I think we could slow North down.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, Mr. Finch. That's a good point. A lot of those runs she's given up have maybe been a bit more fielding issues. But, we talked about it as this game goes on. I think a lot of that's going to tighten up, especially once you figure out the way the wind is behaving and how that's impacting a lot of those balls. Early innings you can sometimes have trouble figuring out what it's going to do, but as the game goes on, you usually get a better sense. Although, actually worth noting, it does look like the wind has switched up quite a bit here, where it was blowing out and helping some of these batters. It's now blowing straight across from east to west, so that should be forcing things to right field even more so than they already have been. Getting ready to get another look here at Ava Kalbrenner. She had a really nice first inning, put herself in a tough situation, got the bases loaded, walked a couple girls, looked like she was going to end up with one runner home for Shanley, and I think everyone would have called that a success if she escaped with just one run coming home. But instead, she made it out completely unscathed, picked up 1 strikeout along the way in that opening inning. So bottom of the second here, Kalbrenner, she's faced quite a lot of adversity in 1 inning already, so she's got to be feeling a bit settled in here.
The right fielder, Talia Drake.
I've been impressed with Kalbrenner's delivery. If you notice, before she releases the ball, it's very low. That's got to be deceptive coming into the plate. It almost comes from her shoe tops.
Yeah, definitely. It kind of looks like she's bowling when she goes down like that. Talia Triggs at the plate right now for Shanley. It's a strike on the first pitch. In comes number 2. 1-1 now. That one's away for a strike, and looks like we were a bit off in that count. That's 3 up, 3 down, I think. 3 strikes there for another strikeout.
Number 23.
Impressive pitch sequence. She's locating. Looks like she's changing speeds.
Both pitchers seem to be elevating their games as this game goes on, and we are still pretty early in it. That ball's away and a bit high for another ball. Another ball here. Pickering not having to do too much work. Being very patient. Doubt she'll be swinging at that one, as it does go down the middle for a strike. Kalbrunner lets it go, and it's out for another ball. Pickering heads off to first.
That's a nice at bat. Down by 2 runs. Base runners are needed. Great patience.
Yeah, excellent vision that time for Pickering, as most of the Shanley team has shown. Pinch runner comes on for Pickering, and I do believe that is Teresa Weigel.
Number 11. Anna Seafeld.
Anna Seafelt out to bat for Shanley, the junior second baseman. And now it looks like we might have a delay, as I'm not sure. Weigel may not have been listed or may have been listed incorrectly on that lineup, and that appears to be the case. They did not have her listed correctly in their lineup, and that will force her off of first for a new pinch runner. And this time, I believe it's going to be Lucian, or... yeah, I think that's Lucian out there. Or no, it's Doomer. And they will call that a strike. Just crept inside.
I think that was ball 1, Jed.
Or was that ball 1?
That was ball 1. We're ahead in the count.
Thank you, Mr. Finch. As I said to you before we got on air, a bit rusty on my softball, so any help is appreciated. 1-1 our count with 1 out. Doomer, the pinch runner at first. It was Pickering who got there off the walk, and there is a quick retirement.
Kalbrunner's getting in a groove out there.
Yeah, she's starting to look a little scary as Seafelt goes down that time on strikeout number 3 for Kalbrunner. And yeah, this is the Ava Kalbrunner that I think North has been used to for a good chunk of this season. She's had her struggles in some games. She's had some difficult runs out west against some powerhouse teams, but at least in EDC play, this is the Ava Kalbrunner I think North is used to. 2 outs as that one was fouled high and away for a strike. And another foul ball here off the bat of Linster.
Fouled that one straight back. She's right on it. Missed that one by an inch.
Got closer that time. Eager to swing those first 2 times. We'll see what she does here. Down 0-2 in the count. Another swing. Goes directly into the ground and then left foul. Linster steps back into the box. Here's the pitch from Kalbrunner. It's up high for a ball as Linster let it go. Linster takes a big swing, and it's another strikeout for Kalbrunner. Make that 4 for her, picking up 3 strikeouts for all 3 of her outs in that inning. She did have the 1 walk, but other than that, was just about flawless that time, Mr. Finch.
That was impressive. That was pitching clinic right there.
Like you said, both pitchers really finding a groove, but Kalbrenner especially looked very strong in that inning. We'll see what Shanley can do on defense. And, you know, if they have more innings like that where they get stymied by Kalbrenner, they're going to be really kicking themselves over that first where they had the bases loaded and only one out, and they couldn't do much damage in that situation. Do have a little break in play, so folks, we would like to take a minute to remind you that Shanley TV is made possible in part by the Shanley Athletic Club and their generous members. Check out their website today at shanleyathleticClub.com to learn how your membership contributes to Shanley TV, the Deacon Den, and many other student-athlete needs. While you're there, be sure to renew your annual membership by clicking the Join Now button or become a member if you're not one already. It's easy to become a member and anyone can join, so sign up today. The Shanley Athletic Club, taking Deacon Athletics to a higher level. So, just about ready to start the third here. Schanzenbach coming back out to pitch. This Shanley defense looking to recover a little bit. They had their struggles in the first and the second. Had a few balls they probably want back that they weren't able to get a glove on. But they got to be feeling a bit better here. They got to have a little bit better sense of how the wind is and how everything's bouncing today.
Yeah, it's time for a quick 1-2-3 inning here. Let's be sharp.
And that first pitch is off for a ball. Schanzenbach with the windup, lets it go for another ball, though, just outside. And there you really see the difference in delivery. Like we said, Kallenbach puts it pretty low, like a bowler was the analogy, and Schanzenbach lets it go more at the hip, more traditional, very upright in the way she pitches as well. Almost polar opposites of Kallenbach in that way. Kallenbrenner, excuse me.
Nice pitch there on the outside corner for strike one. North has really put together some quality at-bats. I've been impressed with the way they're managing their at-bats. Even there, nice pitch.
Yeah, big swing that time. That does not connect the way she wanted it to. And a full count now. Like you said, they have had some really impressive at-bats, but they've also left some batters out there. You know, the thing is, it could be an even bigger lead for them at this point. So they got to feel good, but Shanley, to a degree, has to feel good about mitigating some of the damage as that ball takes an awkward bounce, and it's going to be an error in the infield that, again, Shanley's going to want back. An uncharacteristic error from Linster that time, the shortstop.
I think that was hit pretty much off the end of the bat, Jed. That ball probably had some pretty severe spin on it. Took some hops when it hit the turf, spun a little bit.
Yeah,
tough play.
Sometimes there's not much you can do there. Like you said, it's a tough play. It's just spinning too much to get a grip on. As Schanzenbach starts this at-bat off with a ball. This one is popped way high up into the air. And hopefully the concession area is not too busy, as that could have caused some damage. But we do have a strike there off the foul. That pitch is away and a bit low. North being fairly aggressive in their base running here, as once again they're showing a pretty aggressive game plan. Patient at the plate, but aggressive on base. That seems to be the way they're doing it this afternoon. And Schanzenbach puts that one a bit too low, and that'll be another walked batter. Sam Martin, the senior, at the plate right now. No outs yet for Shanley. 2 runners on for North. Bit of a jam here for Schanzenbach.
Let's see if the Deacons can grab some good fortune here with a ground ball in turn 2.
Yeah, they haven't gotten many easy looks. Once that ball leaves the bat, it's been pretty hard to glove down, and that's another case of maybe one they should have had just outside of the glove of Kuhneman. It's a nice throw back to the infield, though, and they're going to get out at third. Yes, sir. They grab the out at third. Martin will escape to second. A runner did make it home, but that's a nice play by the Deacons to mitigate some of the damage. Small victories, and that's one of them. I believe that was Talia Triggs from the right field position who threw that one in. Impressive accuracy on the long ball. Solid contact, and it appears to have stayed fair. We got another runner going home for North, and that looks like another double for the Spartans, 2 in a row. As Schanzenbach having a little bit of trouble now on the mound. Deacons do have the 1 out, but they've surrendered 2 runs here in the 3rd inning.
Now batting for the Spartans, catcher Alex Hayes.
Wind up from Schanzenbach. This one popped up and just out of reach of Seefeld. Tried to settle it down with her bare hand, could not do it. And then a runner will stop at third.
And you can just see the Spartans gaining confidence at the plate. They're coming up there hacking right now. They're swinging hard.
Yeah, they're really just swinging at everything because they're connecting on everything. And now, unsurprisingly, there's going to be a conference at the mound here. And now this is where, you know, you run into a situation. By no means do I think you need to pull Schanzenbach at this point. It's, you know, you got to give her a few more chances here. But, you know, say this continues, Shanley does not have a ton of options behind her, at least not many established options. Last year when Swanson was unavailable for a period and Schanzenbach was unavailable as well, the Deacons had to turn to Gabby Nelson, who hadn't pitched since, I believe, 6th or 7th grade. Obviously not ideal, so hopefully they've got a little more depth this year, but at the same time, anyone they've got behind Schanzenbach is really unproven at this point, so that's one thing that Schanzenbach probably has in the back of her head, is that she's in this thing unless it gets pretty bad. So, Shanley hoping that little powwow at the mound, hope to settle things down. North, meanwhile, just going to try to continue doing what they're doing in an absolute groove right now. Schanzenbach lets it go. It's a hair high. Deacons trying to capitalize on the aggressiveness of the Spartans, and they do. That's an out at second.
Fantastic throw to second to get the out there. I actually thought, Judd, that was going to be a double steal. When the throw went through, I thought the runner at third was going to come home. I thought that was the call. Runner at third stayed put. Shanley got the out.
Yeah, that could have been, like you said, Mr. Finch. That's a good observation, but it's a really nice throw from the catcher that time, Maddie Remke, to get the out. And that's really what Schanzenbach needed, a little help from her defense around her. They've now picked up 2 really nice outs for her. Going to try to get her out of this inning. That one down straight into left field. Another runner going to make it home. It's going to be a hold-up at first, though, for Sophie Cody.
Solid contact on that ball. That's a good base hit.
5-run lead now for the Spartans. Olick at the plate, pops this one up high in the air, and it's going to be too far for Schanzenbach to try and chase down. A 1 count here, 2 outs. 3 runners have made it home in this inning. 1 runner on first. Schanzenbach lets it go. Olick bounces that one up in the air. Should be an easy out. Oh, no! Looking like the easy out at first. Did they catch her at third? No. Runner is safe at third. Then Olick advances to second. And just when it was looking like an easy play in the field to get Schanzenbach out of this inning, an unfortunate error there is going to allow North to continue swinging here in the third.
You know, and sometimes, Jed, when you're out there for those longer innings, you know, you can maybe get back on your heels a little bit, and that ball comes at you, and you got to wake up real quick.
Absolutely.
That might have been one of those times where Might have been one of those times where we've been out there for a while.
For sure, not to mention trying to corral that ball. It's pretty cold out. That ball is hard, it is cold, your fingers are cold, and now you're trying to get a grip on that ball out of nowhere. You can have a little trouble warming up and waking up. North going to try to capitalize with 2 runners here, second and third, but again, 2 outs. That pitch goes by. Batter has to duck away from it, making it a 2-1 count. Johnsonbach winds up, big swing. Low pitch, but she took a crack at it, and now that makes it 2-2.
Nice pitch. That ball had some good movement on it. Had the batter fooled for sure.
Absolutely dipped low at the end there. But here's some good contact down the left side. Foul, though. Schanzenbach lets it go. Another foul ball. North base runners eager as usual. They're chomping at the bit. And a big
nice
swing
pitch.
will end the inning. Couldn't have said it better myself. Very nice pitch there for Schanzenbach. Strikeout number 6 on the afternoon. And a good way to end a tough inning pitching-wise. You end it with the strikeout. Got 2 nice outs from her defense, then gets the last one herself. That said, though, got to give it to North. 3 runs there in the third to start things off. It's a really impressive job they did. They went on a really hot stretch there with a lot of girls making good contact on the ball.
Well, in watching this game so far, Jed, if you didn't look at the scoreboard, you'd think North would be up by more than 5 right now.
For sure.
And I think Shanley would, right now still has a good opportunity here in the bottom of the third to get back into this. So, string together some at bats. We've got some big bats coming up here. Let's see what we can do.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's difficult to really say whether it's, Shanley doing a good job recovering from those tough spots to make it only 5-0, or whether it's North failing to capitalize, a little bit of both. But like you said, North could be up by a lot more. Shanley probably just happy that it is only 5-0 at the moment. And they're going to be looking to recapture some of that offense they had in the first. They were looking very good in that first inning.
Well, and I look for Shanley to put some plays on this inning. Maybe you might see a bunt, something to get Kalbrenner a little uncomfortable on the mound, get her moving around a little bit, get her out of that zone. So
absolutely try and throw her off her game. She is in a groove right now, or she at least was. One thing about that nice batting run by the Spartans was that Kalbrenner really did not do much for quite a long time. And as much as you love to see success from your offense as a pitcher, sometimes you can be sitting there just a little too long waiting to go back out, and she might not be as loose as she once was. Shanley might be able to take advantage of that, but like you said, they got to do some stuff to get her out of her element, try some bunts, try some different strategies.
Give North credit too. I mean, they've been hitting the ball hard and forcing the Deacons to make plays, and the Deacons have made some of them, and some of them we haven't. But Shanley now, that's their opportunity. Let's get the ball out to that outfield and run around these bases.
So it's Maria Sorensen at the plate. Her last time out, very aggressive, swinging at everything. That time, she lets the first pitch go by, and it's a good read by the senior. Kalbrenner lets that one go for ball number 2. Very good vision by Sorensen so far. That one might have snuck in, and that is the call. Good pitch from Kalbrenner there. Doesn't get the swing from Sorensen. She has yet to swing at any of Kalbrenner's pitches here in the bottom of the third. And she'll let another go by, so very different from her first outing.
If you notice Kalbrenner swinging her arm on the mound too, I think that one got away from her. That one maybe didn't feel too good.
Something worth watching is finally Sorensen swings, and it's fouled away. She takes a second to go through the motions of her swing. Now steps back into the box. Here is Kalbrenner letting it go. Sorensen,
Nice pitch.
big swing, and like you said, very nice pitch.
Up in the zone a little bit. That ball looks huge when it comes in, just below eye level. It looks like a pitch you can really handle, but it's just right above your hands. It's difficult to get the bat up there and make contact with that pitch. Although it looks like the one you're waiting for.
So Gabby Nelson will come out to bat. She had some very good success in her first attempt this afternoon. And now we have a brief delay as the umpire will get his face mask back on. And here we go. Kalbrenner with the windup. And right off the bat, Nelson, big swing, connects low on the bat that time. Oh, 1 count. That'll make it 1-1.
I think that one slipped.
I would imagine so, Mr. Finch. Right into the ground that time. And how about the contact from Nelson straight into center field? Diving grab at it cannot be made, but then Nelson going to be caught. No, she is safe at second. Razor thin margin that time, but Nelson just makes it.
Aggressive base running by Gabby Nelson.
Aggressive indeed, and interestingly enough, she's the one having the conversation with the umpire.
From here, it looked like the throw beat her to second, but that's a good slide. That's a good aggressive slide into second, and apparently she got under it.
Yeah, I would agree. It looked like it beat her. Then again, we were really at the wrong angle to watch that play unfold.
Correct. You know, and I think sometimes that's what leaders do. You know, you spark the team, and you take that extra base, and you fire up your bench over there and see what comes next.
Absolutely. It's like you said, it is aggressive base running, but there's a great reason for it. You know, she knows they're in a tough spot. I mean, you're down 5-0 here by a team that's already beaten you handily once. She knows, you know, what's the harm in going for that extra base. So Maddie Remke at the plate. It's a good part of the order here for Shanley. We'll see what Remke can do as she lets the first one go. And Nelson showing some real aggressiveness already from second base. And Remke sends this one deep down in center field, but it's going to be gloved down by the center fielder, and then that ball will bounce just in front of second. Nelson barely made it back that time.
Nice swing on the ball. Good contact to center field. Right at the center fielder. I think she took one step to her left and gloved that ball.
One out, or that should read two. Sorensen and Remke both out now. So 2 outs, Schanzenbach at the plate. And that ball just finds its way in for a strike. Another strike there for Kalbrenner. Gonna look to end this inning on another strikeout. Lets that one go. Looked a little low, though, so makes it 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Gabby Nelson on second. Schanzenbach lets it go. It was close, but it's a good call. Full count now. And this is really a pivotal moment. Another opportunity for Shanley to try and get some runs scored here. as Schanzenbach pops this one way up into the stands. And Rob Kuhneman, father of Shanley center fielder Kinley Kuhneman, almost making the grab that time. Just a bit over his hands. Schanzenbach lets it go, and great vision there from Schanzenbach. And opportunistic play there from Nelson as she advances to third with no one really watching.
That was a fantastic at bat. Great eye. Great job by Gabby Nelson getting to third base. And even if they do throw it on to third, they have to make a good play. They got to catch it. They got to tag her, and that ball may end up in left field.
Yeah, that's just veteran moves from both players. I mean, you're not surprised to see it from Nelson, but how about that at bat from the sophomore Schanzenbach? Just wise beyond her years. Kalbrenner lets it go for ball number 2. So runners on first and third now with Krista Schanzenbach at the plate, and she does take a swing at this one. 2-1 the count now. Shanley tantalizingly close to getting that first runner home this afternoon. And now Schanzenbach makes solid contact, but it's a pop fly into center and a great grab made. Another excellent defensive play from Alexa Hamry.
That was a fantastic catch, going down to the ground to secure that with 2 hands. Good defense by the Spartans, getting out of a jam there.
And that's such a tough spot because you saw 3 different girls are converging on that ball. It's really not in anyone's territory. I mean, no one really knows who's responsible for it. Hamry just does a great job. You know, the worst thing you can do in that situation is be hesitant and not make a decision, and that's what you so often see. Hamry just charges in there, and she says, hey, that's mine, and makes a great play.
And the tough thing on a ball like that, too, Jed, is that, you know, typically the center fielder is the captain of your outfield and is going to call, it's either mine or it's yours, or they're gonna communicate. But on a ball like that, what you really kind of worry about is an infielder, a shortstop, or a second baseman that's running out, looking back at home plate. You know, and they may not be used to communicating with that center fielder, and you know you can have collisions on a ball like that. But great job by the Spartans to communicate, and again successfully make that catch.
We've got another break in play here, so folks, we would like to say if you've enjoyed watching our ShanleyTV.com broadcast, please consider making a donation to help us continue to bring you quality programming. We rely on donations to bring you every broadcast, and we need your help to continue to improve the quality of our productions and to add new features for you, the viewer, to enjoy. If you're interested in donating, please contact Joel Shuey at 701-893-3225. Again, that's Joel Shuey at 701-893-3225. Thank you for watching, and thanks for your support of Shanley TV. So, top of the 4th year, and that Shanley defense is back out. It was a struggle in the 3rd. They gave up 3 runs. Schanzenbach had some issues, but recovered nicely with a strikeout to end the 3rd inning there. So we'll see what she does here as we've got a bunt attempt from the Spartans that appeared to go foul just at the end there.
That just rolled foul, but I like the move by the Spartans. Again, you know, putting a play on like that, moving the Shanley defense around. Now Shanley needs to think about that. Is she going to try to bunt again here? You know, Gabby Nelson's going to take a couple steps in here at first. Again, it requires the Deacons to make a play.
Yeah, North's been the only team really going for the bunt here in this one, as you saw it there again. Shanley has not forced North to think about that whatsoever. And there is the bunt. It will stay fair. Going to be a race to first, but Seefeld does a good job getting over, and a good throw by Krista Schanzenbach means an out for the Deacons to start off this 4th inning.
That was a fantastic fielding play. Great job taking your time, securing the ball, making an accurate throw to second or to first base, covered by the second.
It's a pretty good commitment too from Weiss that time, staying with the bunt on all 3 pitches. Unfortunately for her, Shanley just made the correct adjustments. It's good defense. One-0 count with 1 out here in the top of the 4th. The Deacons trail by 5. That pitch from Schanzenbach is just outside. Low ball that time from Schanzenbach for another ball. Makes it a 3-0 count now with 1 out. And that is ball number 4. So a runner on now for the Spartans. After a good out to start this inning, it is a walk. And there's a big hit from the pitcher. That's Ava Kalbrenner getting it all the way deep in the left field. They're waving her home. And there's a runner home, and now Kalbrenner's going to make it to third. No, good recovery that time by the Deacons. It was just about a triple. It is a runner home, however, after a very nice double from Kalbrenner. And what power from the pitcher.
That was an impressive swing. That got out there in a hurry. Great job by Schanzenbach backing up the catcher on that play. Certainly saved the runner going to third on that play.
Yeah, most definitely. Great work by Schanzenbach filling in. And it's now a 6-0 lead for Fargo North.
And again, that ball to left, that was a rocket. That one got out there in a hurry.
Yeah, absolutely. It was just a low drive. It was low enough where it stayed in, high enough where Sorensen couldn't jump up and glove it down. Now Shanley's got to be careful. We saw North get red hot after a little bit of success in the last inning. The Deacons can't let them go on another run like that, or it's going to be a early evening for them. Just the 1 out still. 2-0 count now. Schanzenbach put it high. There was a swing anyway. Sorensen moving in to grab it, and what a grab from Maria Sorensen. I thought that one got away from her at the very end there, but she got the glove out and was able to hold on.
A nice play by Maria out there in left field. It seemed that initially maybe she didn't see it off the bat, but she recovered nicely, got to the ball, made the catch.
Well, it's that athleticism, you talked about earlier, Mr. Finch. Really good speed to be able to get in and snag that one. It's where it really pays off. Two outs now. Got a 1-0 count. This one hit right into the dirt, and it'll go foul. Contact once again, but it's going to be an easy grab for Schanzenbach, and that's a pretty good inning for Shanley. They do give up the 1 run, but they recovered well. Didn't let North go on a big-time run. They didn't go on a streak like they did earlier. Overall, I'd consider that a success.
Yeah, agreed, Jed. I think they're making just enough plays to stay in this. Again, 6-0. It's not over yet. You can put some swings together, get some base runners, and you can score some runs in a hurry. But North also, they've been impressive, both pitching and in the field. Very consistent.
Yeah, this will be pivotal. I mean, it is the bottom of the 4th already. If Shanley can't get some offense going here, you got to wonder if it will happen at all tonight. It is going to be Doomer starting off hitting for Shanley towards the end of the order here. Kalbrenner and Schanzenbach with 6 strikeouts apiece, unofficially. Those are my stats up here in the booth. But it's really been Kalbrenner who's taken a step as the evening has gone on. She seems to be getting better with each passing inning.
You know, and I like watching Fargo North out here in between innings. I like the communication. I've seen that between, I think, every inning now, where they're gathering and they're communicating and, you know, talking about what they're going to do. And that's a big part of softball, is knowing what you're going to do before the ball's hit. Don't have a lot of time to think when that ball's in the air.
Absolutely, and I think that's a big reason why we haven't seen many fielding errors from them. As that first pitch from Kalbrenner is low, bouncing off the ground. Pitch number 2 elicits a big-time swing that does not connect. Another big swing that time. Still nothing for Doomer. Now it's a 1-2 count. And that one's high. Good glove from the catcher that time. Little wild. We have not seen many of those high and wild type of balls from Kalbrenner. And another big swing and another strikeout. Make that 7.
She's impressive out there right now. She's feeling good. She's having fun. It's a big smile on her face as she picks up that strikeout.
Pickering was able to draw a walk last time out there. We'll see what she can do now. And right off the bat, great contact straight down the middle, and Pickering is going to make it to first. What an excellent hit there from Pickering.
That was fantastic. Right up the middle. That's how you teach it right there. Stay on the ball, drive it right up the middle. Hit it where they ain't.
So it's going to be Anna Seefelt now at the plate. And we will see a pinch runner here for Pickering. That's going to be Emily Hodel pinch running. So 1 out, 1 batter on. Seefelt was struck out in her last at bat. See what she can do here. High ball that time, and did they catch? No. Just safe was Hodel, but almost got caught that time.
Looked like she just got back in time there, Jed.
That was very close, and she's probably going to be pretty careful going forward here. Two 2-1 count for Seefelt. That one's low, making it 3-1.
Another quality at bat for the Deacons here. 3-1. Opportunity to get your pitch. Pick a zone, and if it's not there, take it.
A big swing, though, from Seefelt, and that's going to make it a full count. Put a little pressure on. And again, this is kind of a pivotal inning for them. If they can't get anything going here, might mean they can't get anything going for the rest of the night. And that is the right call made by Seefelt, though, as she will make it to first. Pretty tough call to make that time, as it wasn't a ball by much, but she does make the right decision, and that's an impressive move there by Seefelt. And now this is what Shanley wanted. Only 1 out, runners on first and second, and now they're into the part of the lineup that they want to be. As here we go, Linster hits one deep into center. Great glove that time, though, once again from Hamry. Alexa Hamry has just been lights out in center field.
Yeah, the Spartan outfield has been flawless tonight. Very impressive.
So Sorensen up to bat now. 2 outs, 2 runners on. Sorensen makes contact but fouls it back. One strike, no balls. And now showing bunt. She gets it off. Looks like they'll get a catcher, though, at first, and they do. I like the call to bunt there. I mean, maybe not the best position to have the bunt. I do like that they are bunting, though, now. I like that they're shaking it up.
Yeah, she's bunting for a hit there as opposed to just trying to move the runners over. You typically would see that more with, one or no outs. But, again, nice play. Again, you got the Spartan defense thinking. I think that's what we need to do.
I mean, certainly it's better than just going for a traditional at bat and just striking out or getting caught out. So at least, like you said, now you've got them thinking about it. And again, it's the small victories to be looking for in situations like that, because obviously they really wanted points. They've left a lot of runners on base this afternoon, and I think they're really feeling that. No doubt that that's frustrating them to no end.
Well, it is, and for the Deacons here again, we want to, really hope for a quick inning, get back. The bats kind of came to life a little bit there. We got that base hit up the middle. We get back to the dugout, take some more cuts. Again, we're not out of this yet.
Most definitely, I've seen some pretty crazy comebacks in Shanley softball. In fact, of all the sports I've called, softball might have some of the largest comebacks I've seen in the later stages of the games. You just never know. We'll see, though. They got to put in the work on defense, though. They have yet to go an inning without giving up at least 1 run. We'll see if that trend continues here in the 5th. Pitch is away from Schanzenbach, and it's low for a ball. And there's some great contact deep into right field. Just finds its way past the glove that time of Trigg. And now that's going to be a double. She won't test it any further. But a great hit that time to start off the 5th inning here.
You're right, Jed. Again, that ball was sharply hit. It's a good example of a batter looking for a ball in a certain zone, and when she got it, she capitalized on it.
Now we'll have a pinch runner here for Fargo North. A little bit of time in between batters here. Not quite sure what the delay is. Oh! And looks like one of the Fargo North coaches was caught with a bat while one of her players was warming up. Looks to be okay, though. I've actually never seen that. As now we've got a ball off the bat that time, showing bunt. Oh, 1 count, no outs. And a runner on second for the Spartans. Schanzenbach puts that one a bit low. They even things up 1-1. And there's a pop fly into foul territory. That's going to be a grab for out number 1 here in the top of the 5th.
Nice quick out there. Good communication by the Deacon infield. Called that pop-up, made the catch.
And those are the sorts of easy outs that Shanley just has not been able to come by in this game. They've really had to work for everything. Not getting a lot of pop flies, not getting a lot of easy ones, so they're going to take those wherever they can get them.
Jed, I can't see a number on this hitter, so I can't find a name, unfortunately, unless you have it. But I'm really impressed with this with this girl's swing. If you watch the leg kick, the timing, the foot's coming down, she's rotating through. If she connects with the ball, it's really going to go.
I couldn't agree more, and I would love to give her the credit she deserves. Unfortunately, I cannot see a number. They're wearing those jackets with a number on only one arm and a very small number. Schanzenbach lets it go.
She was taking all the way. Bat never left the shoulder.
Yep, just found its way in that time to even up the count. Here's the windup from Schanzenbach. Puts it low, bounces it over the head of the catcher, and we've got a runner home. I don't know, though, if that will count, as the ball did bounce over the soccer net that is acting as the cage behind home plate. It looks like that will count, but I don't think she can advance any further than first.
Now back, right fielder, Alexa Hammer.
Aggressive base running here. Are they going to catch her before second? And they do. That is out number 2. And an interesting decision that time. Does not end well. But that's the way North's been running the bases. It's worked up till this point. You can't blame them for continuing to try. Why stop something that's working?
Great throw and catch. Good tag. Solid defense up the middle by the Deacons.
Yeah, those are the plays you want to see. Plays they weren't necessarily making earlier. Here is Schanzenbach on the pitch, and that ball's going to go foul to the right. Two-two count with 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. Go ahead.
I was just seeing if Schanzenbach would go back to that changeup, try to get a swing and a miss. We might see it on this pitch.
Yeah, now with the full count and the 2 outs, going to have to pull something out of her bag of tricks. A lot riding on this one. Here it is. Did it find its way in? Yes, it did, and our count is off. So now it is a full count. I'm just about positive. A lot riding on this pitch, as here's solid contact, tracking towards center field. Kuhneman gloves it down, and an excellent play from the freshman center fielder.
Looked very confident on that play. That'll help build some confidence for the Shanley pitcher moving forward.
And now something worth noting, though. It does look like we're getting a few drops of rain starting here. If these next 2 innings go fairly quick, I think they should avoid anything that could cause a delay in the game, but it is worth watching. Shanley escapes, giving up 1 run once again. They still have not gone an inning without surrendering a run. And that's something you'd like to see, but more than anything, you'd like to see them get some runs scored. That's been their big issue in this game. We know they've got the firepower to contend, but it just has not been there at the right times, at least. They've left a lot of runners on base. They've had some unfortunate situations where they've just been unable to capitalize. And also, you got to give a lot of credit, though, to Ava Kalbrenner. She's stepped up in a major way in this game.
Yeah, agreed. She's been very impressive. She really has controlled this game from inning 1 all the way through. And watching this game here today, Jed, one thing that has really shown through is just how much fun these girls are having out here. Shanley side, Spartan side, you see a lot of smiles. You see girls playing hard and really just enjoying their time out here on the field.
For sure. Shanley really impressed with their attitude. Trailing by 7 here. They don't look down or out at the moment. A lot of teams, I think, would. But they are in this one. And there's a great spark plug here, as that's a line drive down right field for Gabby Nelson. as she makes it to first, and she has gotten on base in every single at-bat she's had so far.
Nice hit for Gabby there up the right field line. Great bat speed. Really fast through the zone.
Maddie Remke up now, as that one's just a little low into the turf.
You know, base runners are kind of key here, Jed, at this point, down 7. But also, you know, putting some people in motion and, again, forcing the Spartans to make some plays.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You got to really try and get them thinking about everything. You got to do anything you can to try and throw them off their game and break through this brick wall of a defense. Wind up and the pitch, just a bit outside. That is 3 balls now. No strikes for Remke. She does let that one go for a strike. 3-1 count, no outs. Remke lets that one go as well, and it's a strike. So a full count now with no outs, and Nelson on first. Here's Remke taking the swing, and just a little bit in front of that one.
Just impressive to watch Kalbrenner on the mound. She's battling out there. She's, you know, I don't think she's afraid to throw a ball. I don't think she's afraid to go to a 3-0 count because she knows she can come back and put it back in the zone. There we go.
Some creativity here from the Deacons.
And there you go. Now the ball gets away and we go to third.
Nelson threatening home, and she might have actually been able to win that race. She does stay at third. But, boy, it's got to be tempting to take off and try and get that first run. Once you get that first one, the rest come a whole lot easier.
But I like that, though. I like putting pressure on the defense and creating an opportunity to take an extra base because they've been so difficult to come by. If you can manufacture one, I think, at this point in the game, not a bad idea.
So with runners on first and third, Shanley appears to be in good position, but we've seen them in situations like this time and time again. And Kalbrenner, remarkably comfortable in these tough situations, like you said. Although here is a huge hit deep into center field and over the fence for the home run. How about Krista Schanzenbach opening things up in the bottom of the 5th inning for the homer?
What a swing. That ball was torched to left center field. That cleared the fence by, I don't know, 25 feet?
Yeah, I mean, that was well clear of the fence, and without really any wind assistance. That wind is blowing in an east to west direction at the moment, so she wasn't getting any help in that department. Very impressive 3-run homer that really has changed this game.
Big swing by the Deacons. Let's see if we can get some more runners on base. Score 7-3, North in front of Shanley.
I mean, that's the thing. This whole game, the whole dynamic of this game has just been flipped on its head. I mean, whereas before it felt like North was, slowly kind of taking the life out of the Deacons, that one home run has just busted things completely open. Only 4 runs, that's really not that much. All it took was 1 hit to get 3. We know they're capable of getting 4 runs, and like I said, it's that first one that's so difficult, and so often once you get that first one through, you break through, the floodgates open.
Well, and here too, it's got North thinking. Spartans looking to bounce back here. Oh, again, that was another bunt attempt there. That was a attempted drag bunt down the left baseline.
Yeah, Shanley really showing off a lot more creativity in this 5th inning. I think really realizing now that they need to get more creative, try a few more things if they want to get back in this one. And Kalbrenner, this could be a tough situation for her. We talked about how comfortable she is in tough situations, but now she's faced her first run surrendered in this game. By far, her her worst pitch of the evening, because of course anytime you give up a home run, that's going to be your worst pitch. And now if you're Shanley, you got to maybe try and capitalize on her mental state at the moment, because it can't be at its best. But then again, she is very good in these situations.
Interesting defensive play by the Spartans here. You'll notice the at third base they're charging. First base is staying home.
Continuing to try for that bunt. Not much going on it. She's been able to generate contact every time, though, so she's not striking out. That time, though, she does over-pursue just a little bit, and she will go out for out number 2. Pickering is up to bat next, and she's had some great success in this one, although we do have a delay as Pickering takes off her helmet. And we'll hand it off. Let's see if I can get a number. It looks like Hodel will come in. She came in to pinch run for her last time, and now it looks like she's pinch hitting for Pickering.
Number 14, Shanley, Hodel.
And right off the bat, Kalbrenner says welcome to the game as she puts that one just past the face of Hodel.
Up and in.
Hodel takes a moment to collect herself. And now we've got a brief delay. Not quite sure. Hodel made some sort of indication to the umpire. They did a quick check. Nothing going on there. And Hodel lets another one go by for a ball. Pitches away. Hodel does not swing again, and this time it is down the middle for a strike. Hodel with patience again, but maybe a bit too much.
Kalbrenner seems to be able to get that corner just about any time she wants. Let's see what she does here.
She's able to get the big swing from Hodel, and so it's the best inning offensively for Shanley yet. The 3-run homer, courtesy of Krista Schanzenbach, but a nice strikeout number 9 by my count for Kalbrenner. Good way to end that inning.
It's been impressive what the Spartans have been able to do here today. Even with those strikeouts, oftentimes your fielders, again, they're standing around to get on their heels, but the Spartans have been ready, made some sharp defensive plays behind her, and they've looked good today.
Before we get back to the action here, folks, do want to take a minute to remind you, don't forget that you can connect with Shanley TV on social media. Get the latest updates about Shanley sports teams, plus reminders about upcoming broadcasts. Like our Facebook page today at facebook.com/ShanleyTV. Follow us on Twitter at ShanleyTV. And now follow us on Instagram, again, at ShanleyTV. And folks, if you're watching at home or anywhere, feel free to get in contact with us on any one of those social media platforms. Let us know where you're watching from. We'll try to give you a shout-out on air. Fargo North getting ready to take the field again. They have yet to be stopped offensively in any inning. They have scored at least one run every time they've been out there. Shanley going to look to make this the first time they've been stopped, as the Deacons are really looking to take control here and get some more momentum. They've already got quite a bit after that 3-run homer. Now they just need to make a stand on defense, try and put it all together defensively and offensively.
It looks like we have a new right fielder into the game for the Shanley Deacons. I'm not sure if I can see the number there. Number 12?
I do think we have a new right fielder, and 12 does appear to be the number. I think that's Randy Jagger out there in right field. An interesting change. You know, there were some struggles out in right field, but I thought Triggs recovered nicely. But you can understand the decision. One. The count now. No outs. Pitch from Schanzenbach. Great contact. It's going to split the gap. Not quite. Jagger gets over to grab it. Not a lot of juice behind the throw as it makes it to second. And so it'll be just a single, as she was true on target. Not a ton of strength in the throw by Jagger, but she was very on the money with the placement, and that's really a lot more important in most situations. You can have all the power in the world, but if you're putting that ball past your target, you're opening up the door for a lot more damage to be done. Pinch runner comes on now for the Spartans, as they're looking to do more of the same here in the top of the 6th. Little delay here as now Schanzenbach lets it go. Aggressive base running right now from Elizabeth Wiest. I believe that's Wiest in pinch running. One-0 count. Make that 1-1. This one's popped high up in the air. Nelson should be able to grab it. Almost ran in to the batter that time. I think that was Ochoa who just about collided with her. But nonetheless, that's going to be out number 1 in this 6th inning. Schanzenbach puts it a bit low for a ball. Another low pitch that time from Schanzenbach. That's been her trend lately. A few more than usual, been tracking it down towards the bottom of the zone. Able to draw a big swing. Fouled off to make it 2-1. Schanzenbach lets it go, and it's just outside once again. 3-1 the count here now, 1 out. Callie Schanzenbach trying to avoid the walk, and she cannot. So runners on first and second now for Fargo North.
This is kind of a big at-bat coming up here, Jed. You know, down 4, top of 6. You know, if we can get the ground ball here, get out of this inning, again, 4 runs. Definitely doable.
Absolutely. It's just about, containing them defensively, and whether or not Shanley can do that. They have not really been able to do so throughout most of this game. But this would be the time to tighten up on defenses. That one's fouled back. Solid contact deep into left field. Sorensen makes the grab. How at the plate a second? Did she get her? Yes, sir. Anna Seefelt tags the runner that time before she could get back to second. Great grab and a great throw by Sorensen. Good finish from Seefelt. And the 6th inning is the first inning that Shanley keeps North off the board here. And suddenly, everything's coming up Shanley.
Fantastic double play by the Deacons. Wasn't quite what I was thinking of, but that will work.
Yeah, I don't think most people were picturing it that way, but like you said, 2 outs is 2 outs. And now, Shanley, fresh off of the first inning where they scored any runs. They follow that up with the first inning where they keep North from scoring any runs. And now, Shanley's going to look to continue that offensive success.
Yeah, it'll be interesting this inning to see if Kalbrenner can maintain or if we can start to string together a hit or two.
Yeah, you know, she's thrown a lot of pitches here. She's been in some really tough situations. She's been playing excellent, no doubt about it, but even the best get fatigued at times. And, you know, it's a cold, windy day. Like I said, throwing a lot of pitches. She's had to put a lot of thought into a lot of these situations where she's been in some really tough spots, and that can just take its toll on people. So we'll see. This could be, you know, a situation where Shanley is really trending up and North is starting to fade a little bit. That could spell bad news for the Spartans. However, they do hold that comfortable 4-run lead still, as Seefeld is at the plate and lets that one go by. First pitch was a ball, as the second one is on its way, and Seefeld swings at it.
Again, that's that pitch. It's just a little bit above the hands. It looks great coming in, but that's one that's very difficult to hit.
Kalbrenner follows that up with another ball to make it 2-1. No outs here as we start the bottom of the 6th. Kalbrenner winds it up, lets it go, and that's a strike. Number 2.
Good job to fight off that pitch, follow that back.
Kalbrenner takes her time, thinks about it, lets it go, and another foul from Seefeld. Doing a good job drawing this at-bat out. And that one just a bit outside, and that will send Seefeld to first. And that's a good job by Anna Seefeld, just really winning that mental battle there.
That's a great job of understanding the situation, and that right now base runners are key. Get on any way you can.
And another ball here from Kalbrenner, and suddenly the balls are starting to pile up for her. This is what I was talking about, a little bit of a fade from her regular caliber of play, as this one's popped up high by Linster and grabbed in center field. And even if Kalbrenner is maybe losing her touch just a little bit here, her defense continues to be strong. Only ball that's really gotten by them, I'd say, you know, there have been a few, but really it's just that home run that was the big damage shot, and not much you can do when it's over the fence. Sorensen pops this one up. It's going to be chased down in foul territory, and what a grab! That ball snagged out of the air for out number 2, and suddenly an inning where Shanley was showing a lot of promise. Not looking too hot as North makes 2 very nice defensive plays.
Yeah, fantastic defense by Fargo North. Again, they've been consistent all game, making the plays that they should make, and even making some that maybe they shouldn't have.
Well, right as we're talking about that, Gabby Nelson comes out with a big-time hit in the left field. Seefeld going to stay at third, but, boy, Gabby Nelson has been unstoppable in this game.
You know, Jed, she's so impressive. You see her in the batter's box, and the confidence is so evident, you know, and she just looks like a hitter in the box. Before she even swings the bat, you know she can play.
Yeah, just extremely natural. That's just the way it comes to her. It's really just something that she's so good at, that natural talent. And, yeah, 4 for 4 so far in this game. Pretty darn good. Remke making great contact down into center field, but another excellent grab by Hamry. and she has just been fantastic. You know, as good as Nelson has been offensively, Hammery has been extremely good defensively. She's been responsible for a lot of those grabs that could very well have been hits for the Deacons.
She's been incredible. You know, center field for the Spartans, that's where fly balls have gone to die, you know, today. It's just there's, you know, those have all been outs. And that gives the pitcher great confidence that they can put a ball over the middle of the plate when they need to. They don't have to hit a corner with every pitch, and that makes pitching just just a little bit easier.
And so now we get set for the 7th inning, the final inning, barring extra softball here today. And this is going to be really important for Shanley. Last inning was the first where they kept North off the board, and you have to imagine they're probably going to have to do that here in this inning if they want a shot to come back in this game. Offense, it's been getting better, but they're still not scoring very much. Aside from the moon shot from Krista Schanzenbach, they've been pretty quiet offensively. And so the smaller this gap is headed into the bottom of the 7th, the better, obviously. So we'll see if Shanley can continue their newfound defensive success here in the 7th. Shanley going to huddle up here, talk over their strategy for this 7th inning, hoping they've got it all put together now. We've seen great fielding and not so great fielding. We've seen great pitching and not so great pitching. It's just about putting that all together now and being consistent in this 7th inning. So 1-0 to start here in the top of the 7th. Schanzenbach again. This one boomed down into center field, but Kinley Kuhneman once again is there to make the play, and she has gotten a lot better as this game has gone on. She had one miss, I'd say, earlier, and aside from that, she's been pretty much rock solid.
Yeah, nice read on that. She saw that ball come right off the bat, and she had that one the whole way.
Schanzenbach with a ball to start off this at-bat. And ball number 2 to follow that up. And make that ball number 3. She goes high this time. Schanzenbach having a little trouble with control here in the 7th inning. And now there's a drive that splits the gap. Going to be grabbed by Sorensen in left field. They'll keep it to a single, but still not what they want as Eggy makes it first.
You know, good job by the Spartans there. That's a true hitter's count, 3-0. And she got a pitch she liked and took advantage of it.
Sophie Cody, senior third baseman at the plate. A little conference here between the umpire and one of the North coaches. As now we do have a pinch runner coming on for Cody. One out, one runner on first as we begin this at-bat. And almost caught out at first. That was very close.
Nice heads-up play by the Deacons there, throwing behind the runner back to first.
2-0 count here. Schanzenbach lets this one go to make it 3-0. And the strikes have been few and far between for her so far in this inning, as that one's going to be fouled back by Cody. Three-one count. Again, just the one out. And that one's driven down the same gap that Eggy exploited just a minute ago. And not what Shanley is looking for here. Schanzenbach's having some trouble with her pitches, and the defense is having trouble filling holes here.
Batting for the Spartans, third baseman, Gabby Olick.
Olick up to bat now, only the one out, 2 runners on. Right off the bat, great contact. Did it stay fair? Yes, it did, and now we've got runners coming home as now that ball went past the fence. So I imagine this will be a double by rule. That does look like it's going to be the case.
I think that's going to be the case, Jed, and that actually probably saved the Deacons a run.
Yeah, I would imagine so. If there had been fence there, I think we'd have another runner home. So 8-3 is the lead for Fargo North. Schanzenbach lets it go high for a ball.
Spartans are making solid contact this inning, hitting the ball hard, giving the Deacons very little opportunity to field the ball.
And that one's popped up foul into the stands with a clatter that time. It's a 1-1 count. Runners on second and third. 1 run already scored here in the 7th. That ball into the turf should be an easy out at first, and then Nelson just hesitated that time, did not let that one go. She was thinking about throwing for the out at third, but she knew better.
Spartans right fielder, Alexa Hammer.
Pitch from Schanzenbach, tipped and fouled back. It is Hamry at the plate right now. Oh, 1 count, make that 1-1 now with 2 outs. That ball's hit straight to Krista Schanzenbach, who gets it over to Nelson for the out at first. And that's a good recovery by Shanley. For the most part, they really only gave up 1 run an inning throughout this game. A couple, obviously, with more, but they averaged just about 1 an inning. Excuse me, go ahead.
I was going to say, good inning by the Deacon infield there. They handled a couple grounders well, and you got to give credit to the Spartans. They're hitting the ball hard. A couple of those line drives to left field there, just added to the score.
Yeah, they found throughout the evening, they've found several areas to exploit. Earlier on, it was long right field here. They found the gap, and like you said, later on, it was that gap in left. Just did a good job with placement on that ball. And now Shanley, they trail by 6. It is 9-3. So, excuse me, they did pick up 2 in that last inning. 1 towards the beginning and 1 towards the end. And it's going to be a tough job for Shanley here. You know, done a great job getting runners on base, but the only time they brought them home was with that home run a few innings ago. Other than that, they have just really had a hard time. They've left their runners out on base too many times. I think they'd agree with that assessment.
Yeah, you know, and this is an inning where, you know, we need base runners, but again, we need to be aggressive. You know, put some people in motion and see what we can do. But the Spartans have been in control really throughout.
Yeah, certainly you got to be aggressive, like you said. You're not going to score. You're not going to suddenly score 6 here without having some aggression and some creativity. So they do just kind of have to, quite literally, swing for the fences here. As Callie Schanzenbach lets that one go by. And there's the bunt from Schanzenbach, that creativity we were talking about.
There.
An error at first allows her to get on. It looked like an easy out. But look at that. When you start to change up your offense, you start to throw off the defense, and suddenly this defense that does not really make mistakes makes a pretty big one there. As now Schanzenbach advances to second.
Interesting. It didn't seem like that ball had gone out of play, but maybe it did.
Yeah, might have rolled under the gap underneath the bleachers here. Not quite sure. But the Deacons will take it. Excellent position now. Runner on second. No outs. Krista Schanzenbach, the lady of the hour, at the plate right now. She had the home run that gave the Deacons their first runs of the night. This one's into the turf and takes a bounce. Two-one count, still no outs. Schanzenbach swings and it goes foul. That'll even things up at 2 balls and 2 strikes here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Theoretically, the 7th and final inning, unless Shanley can tie things up here. They need 6 runs to do it, and they've got 1 runner on, as it's now a 3-2 count. Pitch looked a little high, and Schanzenbach will take her base.
That's about as good of a start as we can hope for, Jed.
Most definitely.
It's an interesting strategy, practicing the drag bunt in the on the on-deck circle.
It could be great misdirection or not, as she does show her hand, but who knows? I mean, she could just be trying to confuse this Spartan defense. You never know. I mean, who would expect the drag bunt after you practice it?
Well, and typically for a pitcher, especially one that's been throwing as well as Kalbrenner, if you know that somebody's going to bunt, you simply put the ball high up in the zone.
Which is
very difficult to bunt a ball that's at the shoulder.
Yeah, and that's precisely what she did. Randy Jagger trying to play 3D chess there, perhaps, and not quite working out. Although she is still in the box. We'll see if she goes away from the drag bunt here. And she stays true to it the whole time. And so the Deacons do pick up their first out. But again, you like the creativity. You like what they're trying here. Down 6, you got to get creative.
Well, it's confidence too, you know, and if that's something that you're practicing and you feel like it's one of your elevated skills, why not go to it?
Hodel takes a big swing at that one. Makes the count 0-1 to start. That pitch high and outside. Good vision that time from Hodel. She was very patient in her last at-bat. Displayed some pretty good vision. Also, though, maybe a bit too apprehensive to swing, as now she has changed that up with 2 big swings early on here. 1-2 count with 1 out, and a third swing means a third strike.
Good at bat there, though. She took her swing. That's a good aggressive at bat.
Certainly, as that raises Kalbrenner's strikeout total unofficially to 11. Anna Seefeld now in the box with 2 outs, 2 runners on. Good vision from Seefeld, or maybe not. Looks like they will get that one for the strike. So it's an 0-2 count with 2 outs. Very tough spot for Seefeld. Kalbrenner just 1 strike away as this one's popped up, and it'll go foul. Kalbrenner lets it go, but it's low. It gets past the catcher, and the Schanzenbach sisters will advance to second and third. Anna Seefeld still hanging in there now with a 1-2 count and 2 outs. Kalbrenner lets it go, and it is in the zone for a strike. Strike out number 12. Ends that inning and ends this game in a 9-3 victory for Fargo North. But not without drama. You know, the score does not necessarily show a close game, but these two really battled it out. It was really North for most of the first half of the game, but Shanley came on strong towards the end. Got North a little worried for a bit there.
Agreed. Shanley had some good swings in this game. Gabby Nelson, 4 for 4. Great game by Gabby. That long home run. And, hopefully the Deacons can learn from this. Great pitching performance by Kalbrenner, and fitting that she finished off the game with, was her 12th strikeout?
I believe so, unofficially.
Very impressive.
Yeah, overall, really strong game from North as a team. Shanley, though, a lot of good things to take away. Things to improve on, but things that I think they can improve on. Certainly, they're not too far out of the picture. They end up losing their second to North, but didn't feel too far off. For tonight, though, it is North who comes away with the 6-run victory, winning 9-3. We will be back with more softball at 4:30 on Friday, so be sure to tune back in for that. Hopefully a little nicer weather on Friday, though I'm not holding out much hope. We'll see what Friday brings, though. New game, whole new day. Be sure to tune in. For tonight, though, for Mr. Finch and for our entire crew, I'm Jed Thomas. Your final score from Fargo: Shanley Deacons 3, Fargo North Spartans 9. To watch the archive version of this entire game and our other broadcasts, go to ShanleyTV.com. The proceeding has been a presentation of Shanley TV.